Hello, Braves country. It's Coach Ken Anderson coming to you from Hardcore Braves, and here we're out to do the state of the pitching. We've already done the state of the offense on Braves hip coil and the state of the pitching. First of all, let me welcome in my main man Ryan. How the heck are you doing tonight?
Well, we'll find out in a few hours, Ken, as we're watching the Braves game. But right now, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Can't complain about what tied for first in overall ranking, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, we multitasking tonight, so if we drift off to the phones, that's because we got the Dodgers game on against the Braves. Chris Sale looks great. But looky here, who we drug out of retirement. Got my good friend Greg Weaver. Y'all know him as Brave Stash. Some of y'all love him, and some of y'all not so much. But that's okay. How the heck are you doing, Greg?
We we here watching a little ball. We're gonna talk a little ball and get through
Yep.
it.
Yep. For y'all who don't know, we brag on anybody that knows. Greg was a really good pitcher. He knows a lot about the pitching game, and actually, remember Greg? That's how old I am. I remember Greg pitching in high school, so he likes to kid me about that, but that's okay.
It's been a long
Uh,
time, Ken.
So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to grade the pitchers, the rotation, and me and Greg talked about this before we got on. We're just going to concentrate on who we got, and we're going to try to show you the difference and why we're getting a little bit better for dumping off a couple of guys out of the pen. One being Osvaldo Bido, the other one being Jose Suarez. We also got some things for Alex to work on to make us even get better. But we're going to give a grade, and me and Greg get into some pretty good talks on this. So we brought Ryan in, and Ryan, we're going to let you guide us through the pictures and let you grade and tell Greg how much right I am. They can do that at any point.
Now, listen,
So take
Ken.
it from here, Ryan.
Ken, we're gonna be 50-50 on this show. Okay, I'm a split judge right down the middle. Okay, we're not picking favorites here. That's how we do it here on Hardcore. But we're gonna start with the starting pitchers. So I'm going to give our new guest, Mr. Greg Weaver, the first crack at it. What grade would you give Chris Sale, Greg?
I mean, that's easily an A plus. I mean, he is a ageless wonder at this point. I mean, they were talking about it on MLB Network. They've been talking about it on the radio. They've been talking about it all over everywhere. That I mean, wasn't it Jeff Passan who threw the tweet out earlier talking about how he was hitting 98 on his last pitches of the game the other night? It's ridiculous. The I mean, I'm kind of biased, I get at this point, but I'm hoping he's wearing a Braves cap when he goes into the Hall of Fame because it's coming. But Chris Sale is easily, and you don't even have to start citing off numbers. You don't have to go deep. You just know that he's there. He's the true number one, top of the rotation guy, and probably, in my opinion, the best move that Alex Anthopoulos has ever made in his tenure up until this point as the Braves president of baseball operations.
I don't think I could disagree with that. Ken, do you have anything else on Mr. Chris Sale? Because I think it's a really short grade in my opinion. But go ahead.
No, Greg's hit this one on the nail. It's an A plus, and if I had to have anybody start a game one, other than, and I'd put him in the same line. I'm not making him less, but other than Tariq Skubal, Paul Skeens, and Shohei, he's right there with them. That's who I want to pitch a game one in any series. I feel like when Chris goes out, we're going to win the ball game. Tonight's a big night. They're playing the Dodgers. I expect us to win the game whenever he pitches. So Greg's got this one spot on. It's an A plus, and anybody argues that, they're just hating to be hating.
Ken, I do have a question for you though, buddy. You got to start game one right now. You've got Chris Sale and Tarek Skubal on your team. Who you going with?
I'll go sell. I'll go sell.
I think so too.
Just because of the experience and just the fact that in October the difference between his fastball. Now look, there's a big difference between Tariq's fastball and changeup, but still, I think his difference in the slider is a little bit harder pitch to pick up out of that tight spin. So I would want Sell over a Scooble right now.
I agree with that 100%. I just think his postseason experience speaks for itself because he is a big game pitcher. I mean, I'm not saying Skubal's not filthy and as far as pure stuff, he's nasty, but uh, give me the bulldog mentality Chris Sale brings to a postseason game. That's because I don't think I've ever seen anybody hit themselves in the head with a baseball. I'm just being honest with you.
Chris Sale is an absolute dog. I don't think anybody in Braves country would argue that. And if you do, you might as well argue with a wall because you have a better shot of getting that to listen than anybody else. But we're moving on to the man that everybody absolutely despised at the beginning of the year and said he needed to be DFA'd or just cut bait. And that is Big Texas Bryce Elder. I'm going to start with Coach Ken Anderson on this one. Go ahead, Ken. You have the floor.
Amen, because I've never been an anti-Bryce Elder. I talk to Greg about this all the time. Now, where you slot him in the rotation is different. He's just proving to be a top of the rotation guy as we speak. Hopefully, he'll hang on, but what he does give you is he's durable. You can pitch him every 5 days. He's going to take the ball, and whether he's pitching good or bad, he doesn't sulk. He just goes and gives you your best stuff. He's an A plus this year, but in my book, for what he tries to give the Braves, he's A plus all the time. And I've been one on the Big Texas train. I'm a Big Texas truther. I know I apologize for him sometimes when he struggles, and I think the meeting with Greg Maddux was huge in his development. And if he becomes what we think he can become, he's a solid number 3 in this rotation for years to come, in my opinion.
All right, Greg, the floor is yours. Can't wait to hear this.
Uh, Count me as someone who has enjoyed Bryce Elder's rise. We'll call it that. And I think that Elder has definitely solidified himself as someone who rises to the challenge. With during the broadcast the other night, CJ and Brandon were talking about how he has made more starts over the last 3 years than any of the current Brave starters combined. That he is healthy. He posts every 5th day, giving the ball, he's going. So in that regard, I like Bryce Elder's makeup. I like his mentality because at any point when he had been optioned down or he didn't start the season with the club and had to go to AAA, he just went down. He bit the bullet. He got it. He got right. And he was just in the arms waiting for his time. And it's finally came. I mean, he's to the point. He is better now than he was in his All-Star 2023 season. And I think Ken kind of nailed that when he said the meeting with Greg Maddux. But I also think that after some of the comments I read earlier about him crediting Jeremy Hefner with really helping his approach and working with him and giving him the opportunity to not go long distance between starts, where they are kind of adamant about him starting every 5th day to keep him on rotation. That has been key to his success so far this season. Now, will it be sustainable? We'll see. But as of right now, if his command continues, Bryce Elder is going to be a force to reckon with. And at this point, he's starting game 2 in a postseason series for me. And with that, I do give him an A plus, and that might be a little generous just because of where he's been. Because at one point he was the worst qualified starter in the game as far as metrics are concerned. But it shows his mettle to see where he's at right now. That shows how he has his mentality of just, I'm never quitting, has showed up. So with that, Bryce Elder's got an A. Give me him on game 2 to run him 6 innings and turn it over to what we're about to talk about here in a few minutes.
I absolutely adore Big Texas. I agree with both y'all's grades so far. By the way, Chris Sale, 6-1 on the year with a 2.14 ERA and a .9 WHIP, and Big Texas, believe it or not, 3-1 with a 2.02 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP. Absolutely solid from our first 2 studs. This guy's coming off injuries. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. He had a little oblique issue to start the year. What are your guys' thoughts on Spencer Strider so far this year? Greg, we'll go to you with that one first.
I think it's too early to tell. I can't really give it any assessment on Strider at this point. I mean, he's had 1 start, and it was a fresh off rehab start. So I can't really say anything. We know who Spencer Strider is, who he's supposed to be. That, I mean, Strider's key is going to be staying healthy, and that's the reality of it because he did struggle last year with health, um, not just with the arm surgery and coming back from that, but also hammy. Now he's got an oblique. Didn't and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this. He did have an oblique issue last year as well. So him just staying healthy. Personally, I think he'd eat a burger or two, he'd probably be better off. But that's just neither here or there. But I think it's too early to make an assessment on Strider. I love him. I love him. I love the stash. I love the quadzilla. He gets out there and goes after it. But I'm hoping that during his off time and his struggles, he is starting to. I hate to put it this way, but starting to learn who he is without 100, because it's not sustainable at this point, because after two elbow surgeries, I mean, we all know that it wasn't, um, Tommy John, but it was. I think he's going to have to learn who he is without 100. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I have faith because the kid's a dog. He works his ass off. And if anybody can reinvent themselves and make themselves better, it's him, because he has that work ethic. So I have no doubt that Strider will pick himself back up and start driving. But with that, it's a NA, not available for grade today.
That's a
Not a
very fair
teacher.
point.
He's not a teacher, Ryan. So what he means to try to say is incomplete. It's an incomplete. You can't go off anything off the Rockies series. I mean, nobody pitches in Colorado, so it would be an incomplete. And I think we can move on because there's nothing we can really say until we see more of Spencer Strider, in my opinion.
By the way, boys, you boy Big Thick come through right there with a
Yep.
driving in Harris.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to a little bit of the hiccups, if you will, of the rotations. So, Ken, we're going to start with you. We're going to go to Mr. Ronaldo Lopez. On the year, he is 2-1 with a 3.28 ERA, but the whip's a little high at a 1.34. Ken, so the floor is yours, my friend.
I made it very adamant on X. I'm not going to get too far into details on why I'd say it, but just for time concern. But I will give him a C plus for what he has to give us. And the fact of the matter is that Reynaldo's arm may be telling the Braves he's better out of the pen. I think that when he's on the mound, he thinks he's got to give him 5 innings or 100 pitches or 6 innings. He thinks too much and he tries to hold back. And by holding back on his fastball, it tends to do this a lot. And I just like for him to get out of the pen, and hopefully the kids, Richie and Fuentes and all them coming up, will enable them to do that. I believe this is the last year of Reynaldo's contract. We may have an option, but we can make a decision on that. But I just think Reynaldo's better out of the pen. And if you look at the numbers of Reynaldo over his career, even though he had the one good stretch as a starter, we understand that. He come out, balls are blazing. He's better out of the pen, and I think it's just because his arms, some kids' arms are made better to pitch out of the pen than they are. The prime example of that is Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers fought it. Then when he went to the pen, become a Hall of Famer because he realized he was better off throwing out of the pen. I think that's Reynaldo. But I give him a C plus. He's gave us everything he's wanted to have. He's done okay. The team's won games with him pitching, and I think he'll help out of the pen. So I give him a C plus.
All right, Greg, floor's yours.
How aggressive are y'all going to allow me to be here?
Keep it PG-13. PG-13.
No, I ain't talking about language. I'm talking about his usage. Lopez has a dog mentality. He's going to go out there and give you everything he's got. He's going to I mean, look at what happened with Soler. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I don't care how big you are. I'm going to hit you in the face with a baseball. And that's just the reality of it. But this may be unfair to say, but I think Alex Anthopoulos has derailed his career by putting him in the starting rotation, forcing him to throw 130 innings. It shredded his shoulder. and it overworked him. That's the reality. He was a relief pitcher since what, 2019. He was a starting. The last time he was a starting pitcher was 2019, and they tried to make him something that he was not conditioned to do, and now we're looking at the results of it. Because when he showed up, you can go back and read my tweets. I wanted Ronaldo Lopez the year he became a free agent. I called him to the Braves, and I said I cannot wait for him to be our eighth inning guy, and they signed him and made him a starting pitcher. Um, Ronaldo Lopez is going to give you everything he's got, but until Ronaldo gets back to his 98, 99 out of the pen, I don't know. I mean, I think that he, like I said, he's giving you everything he's got, and at 93 and 94, I don't know how effective he will be out of the pen consistently, but so far he's been effective. So far he's been effective. Not much as a starting pitcher because he gets tagged up a little bit, but as a relief pitcher, he's getting the job done. And I mean, the truth to be told, he doesn't have to be a high leverage guy. He could be a sixth and seventh inning guy that gets you to Lee and Suarez and Iggy. If he can get 3 outs in the sixth or seventh inning, that's all we need him to be. And I think he can do that.
Why can't he be Kirby Yates? Just be Kirby Yates for the Dodgers.
That's a good point because Yates was not the same pitcher. I agree with that.
Yeah, just be Kirby Yates.
That's a great call.
Go get the outs in the sixth or seventh. So
yeah. Go get the sixth and seventh. Go get the sixth and seventh inning. But I mean, he does have, I guess, the conditioning to go multiple innings, so that's a positive.
Go to the sixth and seventh.
Right, but you don't want him. But you don't want him going the sixth and seventh and having to shelve him for a couple of days because it obviously leaves you short-handed.
They don't have to. They're doing that. Right. They're doing that for them. That's not for him.
Right. So I do think I'll split this. As a starting pitcher, I give Lopez a C minus. As a relief pitcher, I'll give him a B plus at this point.
Fair.
Because, and that's I think that it's gonna. I think as time goes on, I think he's going to show his value, and his value is going to be in the sixth and seventh inning. But I don't think that he's going to be. He does not need to be back in the rotation with the starting pitching depth that we have at this point with young kids. But I think if you maintain him and let him get solidified in the bullpen and go get somebody at the deadline, go get a starting pitcher at the deadline, you've got a filthy pen and a filthy rotation. That's where I'm at. I think that Lopez gets you to the three machine guns and you run from there. That's my take on it.
Good points and good grades. I like them so far. Greg, we got your favorite pitcher of all time on the Atlanta Braves pitching staff coming up next. So we're gonna let you have the floor first. It is Grant Holmes. So let me give you the stats first. 2-1, a 4.34 ERA, and a 1.31 WHIP. That is where he is sitting at. The floor is yours.
I'll keep this short and sweet. I said from the time that he was brought on to be a starting pitcher, Grant Holmes was not a starting pitcher. I love Grant Holmes' mentality. He is a bulldog. But I do not think that he is a starting pitcher because, I mean, the stats don't lie. Second, third time through the lineup, it's rough. Grant Holmes was absolutely filthy out of the bullpen. He is your prototypical sixth and seventh inning guy. And you have him and Lopez added to the bullpen. He's elite. I do not think that Grant Holmes needs to start another game this year unless it is absolute emergency. Love his mentality. I love I love how hard he is in the paint. He goes after it. He wants to win more than anybody else on the field when he's on the mound. But I think he is being used incorrectly when he is starting games. That is just my opinion.
All right, Coach, it is your turn. Go right ahead.
Grant is your typical fifth starter, sixth spot starter in the MLB. And for me, those guys are better off pitching out of the bullpen, and then only if you have injuries that you bring them in, which in Alex's defense, he's had to do that with Grant. So I'm not going to kill Alex totally on this, other than he maybe could have had a starter, which he brought up today on 680 the fan. He hears all the time. But it's really for all of us who say if Grant was our 6 inning guy along with Raylo, the bullpen, we're going to get to the bullpen, how great that back end is. It would just be the best bullpen in baseball, period. I'll give Grant a C minus on a starting pitcher, but I think that's not Grant's fault. I think that's the injuries and the fact that we have to have him go. Again, Fuentes, Richie, all them coming is going to help Grant to get into the row we need him in. And you wouldn't want a better Bulldog pitcher than Grant Holmes. The equivalent to me for Grant Holmes is going through the Brad Hand and Sean Green effect. They had the same problem. They always thought they could be a starter, and when they finally stuck them in the bullpen and let them through multiple innings in the bullpen, they become lights out guys who made all-star teams. I believe Grant Holmes could be an all-star reliever. He'll never be an all-star starter. And that's the reason why I think Alex needs to look at that and put Grant in the best situation. Bryce Twitter that love Grant, which Ryan loves Grant, bunches love Grant. It's not hating on Grant. It's just trying to getting Grant in the right place. And me and Greg agree on this as well.
You got to put him in the position to succeed. That's you. It's the same. It's the same thing with Lopez. Put him where he's going to succeed the most.
Yep.
And I didn't give a grade on Grant, but my grade on him is a D minus, but it's of no fault of his own. I want that to be the asterisk caveat, whatever you want to say. It is not his fault. He is being used improperly.
Those are very fair points. I will give that one to Coach Ken Anderson, though. But I respect your decision on that, Greg. I do. I respect it, okay? I'm not going to crucify you on live television, okay? All right.
Go ahead. I'm fine with it.
Nah, you're good, buddy. We're moving on to a surprise, if you will. Martin Perez, a 2-2 record, a 2.38 ERA, and a 1 whip right on the dotted line. Let's go with you, Coach Ken. I know you like this guy. Go ahead and talk to me about him.
He's been the savior. He's saved our season. I don't care anybody looks at it. He's absolutely saved our season. And for anybody who wants Grant Holmes, I'm going to kill him because I know he's going to not grade him this high. He'll give Martin a good grade. But anybody who wants Grant Holmes in the pen, there's no way you can't look at Martin Perez and say that he's a better fifth starter than Grant Holmes. And for that, he gets an A minus for what he's brought to the Braves. He literally has saved this team this year because I think it's finally gave Alex the thought of, you know what? Maybe we can put Grant and Raylo in the bullpen. Maybe I found a guy who doesn't get hurt, a Bryce Elder from the left side, who can, and if Bryce can keep this up, you can survive with one Bryce Elder in your, I keep throwing Bryce under the bus here, but you can, that kind of pitcher, and that could be Martin Perez. Go out there and give you 5 innings, 6 innings, shut out 1-run ball, get you late in the game. And to me, Martin Perez is one of our heroes this year, and he gets an A minus for me.
All right, Greg, what you got on Mr. Martin Perez?
Can't trust it. I mean, that's the reality of it. You can Ken, remember the conversation we had the other day when I was like, "Hey, am I insane to think that Martin Perez should be making the starts?" Remember when we had the conversation the other day, Ken? We were talking about. I said, "Am I crazy that Walt's about to put Grant Holmes in the bullpen and Martin Perez is about to start getting his starts?" I told you that. And you're like, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. But Perez is he's a crafty lefty. He's a crafty veteran lefty, and he is getting it done. That's that. I mean, I did give him an A, but I did go with a B plus, but it was close to an A. The only reason I didn't give him an A was because the walks are a little high, but other than that, the dude's shoving. I mean, he's old school pitching. He's Tom Glavine pitching. He's beating you. He's beating you with location instead of velocity. And I don't know. Call me old fashioned, but I enjoy somebody going out there and hitting their spots and making the hitters look silly because they beat them on the outside edge. But Give me Martin Perez as of right now. Give me him taking the ball every fifth day in the number 5 role.
I like it. 2 solid grades for Mr. Perez. And we're moving on to the young buck who just came up, J.R. Richie, a 1-0 record, 3.63 ERA, and a little high whip, a 1.5 whip. Greg, we'll start the floor with you with Mr. J.R. Richie. What you got?
I mean, what has he made 3 big league starts? That's where we're at now. Okay, he's pitched 3 games. It's a little early to really give him a fair grade, I guess, so to speak. He looked good. He looked good in AAA. Looked good in Gwinnett. Obviously pitched well enough to get here. The walks are a little concerning at this point. Throwing 6 in Seattle the other day was rough. But I think once he corrects that, his stuff is there. I mean, he's a 6-pitch pitcher. Kid's got nasty stuff, and it's just he's very good. I think he is going to anchor the number 2, number 3 spot in our rotation for several years if he doesn't get moved. Keep throwing him out there. I think the more we see of J.R. Richie, the more we're gonna like. And with that, I give him a B minus just because of the walks at this point. But that could still be because he's a kid, and it could be because Seattle had him rattled a little bit going home the other night. But I do think that Richie has got a very, very bright future, and I'm very excited to have him in the middle of our rotation, and I hope he keeps making starts.
Really fair points. I like the grade. I think it's spot on. Ken, what do you have on Mr. J.R. Richie?
It's about right, because here's the thing with JR. It's hard to really tell. I'm excited for his next start because he can finally have a start. Of course, here come the Cubs, who's got the best tied with us for the best record. But think about his start. He had his major league debut, then he had his home debut, and then he had to go back home debut. So he has not had one where his blood was not up here, and so the command being off is kind of should be suspected to be that way. So let's see how he is. I think the grade's perfect. I think you give him a B minus, C plus because of where he's at. And to be honest with you, from the 3 starts, you can even bump it up to a B. I mean, he's done everything they needed him to do the first 3. I think they'll look more for the command to be in line in the Cubs series because now he should have all that under his feet and he should be able to just throw the baseball. But I'm like Greg. I think he's going to be in the rotation for a long, long time.
I got a little tag on that there. You think with Richie, do you think he's going to end up? Do you think his heart rate's ever going to go down this season? I mean, as a kid,
I do.
I'm sure it will, but I mean, this is everything he's ever worked for, and now he's a 5-man
Well, I was
rotation, the
going to
best
say
team of baseball.
it probably will, but it'll probably be August, a Tuesday game in Atlanta where there's no crowd. He'll finally can breathe finally. And but yeah, he'll get his legs under him. We already seen that
September,
his minor league career has been like this. He's been like
yeah,
that. Once he gets settled in, he just kind of
yeah,
goes, and he'll be in the
yeah.
rotation for a long time.
A September game where it's like he's gonna like, oh, I'm okay now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All
Exactly.
right, fellas. We talked about all the starters. Overall, what is your grade? Ken, go ahead. Give them a grade.
B plus. They've been an excellent staff. There's a couple of hiccups in there that need to be cleaned up, but a B plus. I don't have a problem anybody giving them an A because they're one of the top 4 rotations in baseball right now. I just want to see it for a little longer out of Bryce and a little longer out of JR. I want to see what Strider has coming up. But overall, for the first 38 games, I give him a B plus.
Very solid. Mr. Weaver, what you got?
I tend to agree with Kid. I would, given the current, if you take the current rotation of Sell, Elder, Richie, Perez, and Strider, I think you kind of, like he said, I think you kind of got to lean towards an A in that regard. If you consider Holmes and Lopez, drops the grade a little bit. But I do think if the current 5-man rotation is who you got going forward, I think an A is solid. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves at this point. you've got four veterans and a rookie in there. I mean, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the overall starting rotation, I give them an A at this point. And I can't wait to see where we are about the deadline because with the money that we have coming off the books and well, let's just be honest, the Profar money, we should be able to get somebody that just absolutely shoves. And that may be a hot take here, but if the Tigers are not in it, they're not going to be re-signing Scooble anytime soon. We got the money to make something happen. So just throwing it out there.
That would be awfully fun to think about. I'm not going to lie. That would be awfully fun to think about. I would hate to see the prospects it would take to get him away. But we're moving on into, I would say, my favorite part because we're going into the back end of the bullpen first. We're going to start with the star closer for us, Mr. Riselle Igacius. Greg, go right ahead. Talk to me about Iggy.
Iggy's Iggy. I mean, he's got a 0 ERA. I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. He is to be 36 at this point, 37.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Kid's throwing one of the most devastating changeups I've seen from a relief pitcher in a while. I mean, just he'll beat you with 95 up at the letters, and he'll throw a changeup. I mean, you see that. It's just filthy. That Iggy's an A plus plus plus. I don't care. Like he's. I hope we give him 3 years. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like even with he's not aging. He's not. I mean, he's not aging. Give him 3 years. Let him close for you for the next 3 years. I love him.
I would be A-okay with that. I have been always a big fan of Iggy. Ken, what do you give Mr. Iglesias for a grade?
He's an A-plus pitcher. He's an A-plus pitcher. And the reason why you can give him a contract is you have the next guy we're going to talk about is an A-plus pitcher. And so if Iggy gets a little bit less on his speed or whatever, he can flip roles with that guy and become an eighth-inning guy. They both complement each other about as well as I've seen any two pitchers in the bullpen. This is going to date me, but since the Reds had Norm Charlton and Dibble, they would complement each other so well. Which, of course, in their case, one was a left-hander. But fact of the matter is he's an A-plus pitcher, and I want him here to the end of his career.
I have absolutely no problem with that. Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's very reminiscent of the days of O Venerable. I'll just put it that way. With as far as I mean, you get to the seventh inning. I mean, and you can even throw Lee in that mix.
Wait till we get to this, Greg.
I know,
the best numbers of all of them.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're. But between we'll talk about when we get to the overall. But the reality is like the complementary effect of the of Iggy and his setup men has been. It's just that nuts. It don't get much better than that.
Just for some stats real quick, and keep in mind he has been injured, but these are still Mickey Mouse numbers right here. My goodness, he's got 6 saves with a 0 ERA, and then the WHIP is just ridiculous at .72. So Mr. Iglesias has been absolutely phenomenal, but this next fella has probably been my favorite AA signing in quite a while in free agency. I begged for him since the beginning of the offseason, and we got him, Mr. Robert Suarez. He's got 4 saves. He's 3-0. He's got a .57 ERA with a .08, or not 0, but 89 whip. It's a .89 whip. Ken, talk to me about Mr. Suarez.
Greg's right. Alex's best trade. And you can make a little bit of a case for the Olsen trades when he went well for him. But his best trade was Sale, and his best free agent signing's been Suarez. And Suarez is the reason why the Braves are a World Series contender, period. He's finished the whole bullpen out, and that guy, when he pitches, is I feel like the game's over, 100%. And so he's an A plus. We're going to get to the other guy, but we have 3 A plus pitchers in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And like Greg said, that really reminds you of Invincible, because you feel like the game gets to the 7th and we're ahead, we're going to win the game. I'm sure we're going to lose one this year, and it's going to shock us, and Twitter's going to have a meltdown on Walt Weiss. But he's an A plus pitcher, and I'm sure glad he's here. And I don't care if him and Iglesias, stay here for a while.
I'm 100% with you, and I hope as long as Suarez is just throwing BBs like he is currently doing for the Braves, I hope he stays forever. Greg, we're going to you next. Go right ahead.
I mean, Suarez, he is. I mean, your 8th inning guys throw 101 with a 92-mile-an-hour changeup. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, so you go from that. You go from Suarez to Iggy, game's over. I mean, unless one of them is just, I mean, unless it's just going to take the Lord Himself to come back and say, not tonight, boys." That's. I mean, it's just one of them things. I love the signing, the Suarez signing. I think as far as bullpen arms, that's been since Alex's tenure in Atlanta. I think that is the best bullpen arm that he has signed, off-season signing, in my opinion. Because as long of course, this is the caveat always is if they stay healthy. But I mean, Suarez has a good history of being healthy. Iggy has a good history of being healthy, so I don't think we're going to have any issues with that. But I also find it crazy that they're both in their mid to late 30s and just gassing. And it's like, yeah, they may be old, but them boys are getting it. So,
no doubt about that. Back end of the bullpen is nasty.
A plus, by the way. I don't know if
I think we got it. I think we figured that one out. All right.
Just keep it with theme, yeah.
We got one more. That is our 7th inning man, Mr. Dylan Lee. He is 1-0, a 1.02 ERA. My God, he gives up all the runs in the world with a 1.02 ERA, but his WHIP is a .45 WHIP. Ken, ooh, I know you're itching to talk about him, so I'm gonna cut to you. Go right ahead to talk about Mr. Dylan Lee.
I'm going to talk about my fellow Tennessean. He's from Cleveland, Tennessee. Loves to fish. He does all that stuff, and he's just easy. Here comes the slider. Here comes another slider. Hell, okay, here comes another slider. Go sit down. And he is beautiful. And the only guy that kind of gives him a little fits, he seems to have righted the ship this year, and that's Bryce. And he got Bryce out 3 times already this year. So A plus. Again, the game gets to the 7th inning, and these 3 monsters are pitching the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Go ahead and put us in the W column. We're going out with a win. So another A plus pitcher for me, Greg.
Greg, you're up.
Ken, you nailed it. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm going to be transparent. I was a little nervous when they let Minter walk because they had so much faith in Lee. I think that's the reason they allowed Minter to walk at that point, because Minter was, I mean, he was our horse. He was the guy who just absolutely went out there and shoved every single day that Brian Snicker pulled the lever. So I was nervous when Dylan Lee came in. I mean, his numbers were great, but I just didn't think that, of course, the velocity was not where Minter's was and stuff like that. But Dylan Lee has made me look stupid more times than I can count. So I mean, I am a Dylan Lee supporter. He is absolutely the movement on his fastball and his slider, unreal. So
beautiful.
Who was it? There was someone talking the other day. Is like, what made Dylan Lee so effective with him throwing 94? Because he's not like Suarez. He's not pumping 101, but he's striking out at a ridiculous rate. It's because of his movements, his fastball moves, the late movement on his pitches. It's his arm slide, it's his tunneling. It's where I mean, the fastball and slider look the same coming out of his hand, and that's it. It's his mechanics, and I think that's. I'm not going to get too deep in the woods here, but his mechanics are so good that he is able to keep the deception at 100 at all times.
And then also, Greg, you got to remember he only has a difference of about 7 to 8 miles an hour off that slider. So you really, as a hitter, and Ryan can speak to that, as a hitter, that makes it very difficult when you have that slight change in that. Iggy does the same thing with his fastball and his changeup. When you only have 7 to 8 miles an hour, you don't have much time. And so you throw the fastball, and if you're sitting there looking for the slider, he gets it by you, and then you just can't hit the slider. I mean, you just can't hit it. So 100% A+, Ryan. So let's go. We got 3 A+ pitchers, and now we get to go to the other side, some of the other side.
Yeah, well, we got one more that's been pretty good for us in the back end of the bullpen, Mr. Tyler Kinley. Greg, go ahead and talk to me about Mr. Tyler Kinley. He's 3-2, a 2.76 ERA with a 1.29 WHIP. The floor is yours.
When we traded for Tyler, I was a little skeptical because when you look at his raw numbers, the walks were high. I mean, you did have to consider that he was pitching in Coors Field a lot, and so, but the walks were high, and so I was a little concerned. That dude showed up and has done nothing but shove since. I mean, you look at his numbers to finish out, what was it, 25 games he pitched for the Braves last year. He had a 0.75 ERA, just crazy numbers. Now, did I anticipate that to ever to be sustainable? No, I did not. But I think that, I mean, Kinley pitching, what'd you say, 2.74? Is that where his ERA is right now? Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for anything else. You have him coming in the 6th inning, Lee, Suarez, Iggy. Nah, we'll see y'all tomorrow. I mean, that's just real. I mean, I think he's the only criticism I have is he's falling in love with his slider a little bit too much at this point because he has a good fastball. If he can use his fastball and utilize it a little more, I think he's going to he'll find that success again because he's given up a couple home runs. One of them I don't count because it's at Coors Field, but I think if he starts utilizing his fastball a little more, I think he'll be fine. But if we're seeing that, Hefner's seeing it. So I expect nothing but good things from Kinley going forward.
What's your grade?
B+, A-.
Okay.
I'm torn because I don't nothing wrong with him.
I think A-. Here's the thing with what Hefner's doing with him. They say this is more coming from the front office. We got to give him, whoever that is in the front office that looks at pitching, some credit. They're having him throw the curveball a little bit more too, to give 2 off speeds coming, so they can't settle on the slider. So 2 different looking.
Sure.
So let's see, and let's not kill him for what is going on this road trip. Me and Ryan talked about it in the hip coil in the podcast. He looks a little gassed. The best thing that can happen for Tyler right now is the day off yesterday and the day from Monday. So look for Tyler to regain that and come back. He's definitely perfect grade, B+, A-, whatever you want to give him. It's perfect grade.
Hasn't he pitched the most innings or the most games out of the pen at this point? Yeah, I thought so too. And I think you're right. I think he's a little fatigued. I think that's very fair, and it'll start the slider and curve will start flattening out a little bit. But I think a day off here, and maybe he doesn't pitch tonight. 2 days off will do him some good.
Big time.
Good grades. All right, we're moving on to another young pup. Diddier Fuentes. He is 1-0 so far with a 4.26 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. Greg, go ahead and talk to me about Diddier.
He's 20. I mean, the kid's 20 years old and striking out big league hitters. I mean, the future of that kid is so bright. He's got so much going for him. He was punching kids out at guys out at 99 miles an hour the other night. I have to look and see. This is my fault for not being prepared, but the splits of when he started and his bullpen really his appearances at this point. But I've got nothing negative to say about Fuentes. He- he's young. He's gonna figure it out. He's 20 years old. Like I don't know. I don't know. He's 20 years old. He's a kid. He's gonna figure it out. And what would the conversation that Alex had, where the reason he's staying in the bullpen at this point is because he's getting to have conversations with Iggy and Suarez. That's invaluable. That is invaluable. That kid is going to be. He is just if he does what he's supposed to, and he becomes a sponge for those two guys. Look out. Look out. That
And
kid is going to be amazing.
the big part is, Greg, is that he's going to learn to have faith in his off speed change up.
Yes.
And that's going to you got two guys who believe in that and talk to him. And like Alex said on 680 with Chris Domino, let's see what he looks like in the pen. Look, Max Fried started out there. Other guys have started out there. And we'll see where he goes. We had Brady Penn on the show. He thinks eventually he may end up being our closer out of this whole thing at 20. Who knows? I think what everybody's trying to say about Diddier, that's an electric arm, 20-year-old kid. Let's stop pigeonhole him and just let him go pitch. And just let him
Let's let him
go
find out who he is.
and where he is. And I think for his start, I would give him a B minus because he's been in there and he's done what we want him to do. And I'm excited for his future. And the fact of the matter is that you can pitch him in the pen the whole year. That'll keep his innings down. And then dadgum, you can make him a starter next year. So Alex has an arm right there that he's going to play. He's got a really nice little toy to play with for the next 4 years. And I'm excited to see what Didier's future holds. Seriously.
I do. I may have initially graded him a little low. I said a C, but I didn't. I guess I didn't take into consideration uh again his age. I'm sorry. We're just about to score another run here. Nah, he's out. No, my bad. All right. Sorry. Watching the game. My bad. I get caught up. But Fuentes, I think you're right. In the next 3 to 4 years, you're gonna see a star. He has all the tools. It's just getting it between the ears and experience. And I would grade him a B minus to a B, just because what he's been able to accomplish at his age. I would give him that. Yeah, I mean he's electric. Like, yeah, I cannot wait to see him in 2 years.
All right. Well, we're getting to the one ugly spot in this bullpen. Aaron Bummer, a 1-1 record with a 5.25 ERA and a 1.67 WHIP, and that is him on a good day, in my opinion. I could talk all day about Aaron Bummer, but it's y'all's show, so Ken, go right ahead and talk about Mr. Bummer.
Aaron is.
Hey, remember what your mama said.
That's right.
If you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So we can move along if you got to.
I'm just going to give. I'm not going to give any. I'm not going to give any guy who is giving me his heart. I had plenty of these pitchers in high school. Greg knows there's all these guys that throw 74 that has to get you innings. I think it's up to the management to figure out where to pitch them. Most time it's in JV ball and freshman ball, but we can't do that with the Braves. He don't have any option. You can't send him down. We're trying to live on a 9.5. So I'm not going to kill him because somebody signed him to a $9.5 million contract. His arm's giving out. I'm going to give him a D minus because I don't give failing grades. Anybody who gives him a failing grade it's very, I can see it. I feel bad for Aaron because we're putting him into situations that he cannot succeed. And I just hope he gets through the year and hopefully it's with another team, and hopefully we'll find somebody for that. I just don't think he can help us win a world championship. And if Alex is right, if our goal is to win a World Series every year, you got to do like the Dodgers and make some of these tough calls on players, Yankees. You got to make these calls, and these calls are Aaron Bummer cannot help a team win a World Series. But I'm not going to give him an F just for the fact of I think even himself would say he just doesn't have it anymore. And I'm going to go D minus, and I'll let Greg take the floor from here.
You sure you want to do that? I was very skeptical. I'll put it that way. The day that we traded for Aaron Bummer, and my timeline proves that. He has good movement on his sweeper, if I have to be positive. Other than that, I agree with Kim. He's not going to help us win a World Series. There's 9.5 million reasons he's going to be in this this bullpen until he becomes absolutely unpitchable, which I think, in my humble opinion, he already is at this point. But I mean, a couple of years ago, he was throwing 96, 97. He's topping out at 89, 90 at this point. And if he doesn't have velocity, they're teeing off on it. I mean, he's already given up 2 home runs. He's touched. I told somebody the other day the biggest key indicator of it when it becomes a trend, it's no longer an anomaly. And without getting too deep in the stats, his batting average and balls in play he gives up too much. He gives up too much contact. He gives up too much hit, and that's the reality of it. I've always said that, and I also told some folks the other day that if you're a relief pitcher and the only way you can succeed is being brought into a perfect situation, you are not a big league ball relief pitcher. Sorry, you got to come in with runners on first and second with 1 out, and you got to get out of it. His inherited runners scored is too high. That's just the reality of it. And the reason his ERA looks so good is because the runs that were allowed were not his, but he did allow them with extra hits. I'm sorry, it's just where we're at. I'm not a Bummer fan. I haven't been since he was traded for. And I'm going to be glad when Dylan Dodd gets back.
Thank you, Ryan.
I think we all are going to be very happy when Dylan Dodd comes back and they are forced to make a decision in that department. But with all that being said, gentlemen, we got to give an overall grade for these relievers. So, Ken, what is your overall grade?
I'm taking Bummer out. I'm not going to hold the relief staff to that. So I'm going to go A minus. I think overall the relief pitchers have done well. Even Raylo and Fuentes going to the bullpen has helped. I'd put our bullpen up against anybody's bullpen as long as one lefty don't get it. And I think 46 fixes it really quick here in the next week when he hits the mound. I'm a huge Dylan Dodd guy. Greg will tell you that. I've always been a Dylan Dodd guy. I fought Jason Reese on this, and now even Jason Reese is like, I want Dylan Dodd too. I said, that's what I'm saying. That kid can throw. A minus. We got one of the best relief corps. I know we're getting short on time, so I'll just leave it with that. Greg,
Go ahead, Greg.
I'm going to include Bummer because he's got the second most appearances out of anybody in the bullpen, and he is the only thing keeping this bullpen from being an A. I'll give him a B plus, and until they remove that cancer, we're here. That's kind of harsh, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm
nice
sure
guy,
he's a good
guys.
dude.
Nice guy. He's a real nice guy.
Good
He's
dude,
a
good
lovely
dude, but
guy.
he's a
pitch,
good.
Ken.
I'm sure he's a good dude, but he's got to go.
He needs
He's
to
gotta
join
go.
me in men's league when I go back to men's league at some point. Okay, that's where we're at with Aaron Bummer.
Dude, he's liable to give up some tanks in mid league. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll quit.
Hey, you're not kidding. There's some dudes in men's league now. All right, so we're going to move on to the overall picture, if you will. Everybody as a whole, what are you giving them on the pitching staff, Greg?
The overall pitching staff.
The whole pitching staff is one.
We're at a I think we're just in a B plus at this point. I mean, you could argue an A minus to an A, but I will say that there's a couple things that need to be corrected. Just like with any pitching staff, and I think you're going to be able to do that at the deadline if you can just hold form until then. I think that you have the money, you have the pieces to to make this an A-plus staff. And I think that at this point, you're looking at a B-plus, A-minus overall. And, I mean, and that's crazy coming from me because you can ask Ken when we had conversations that my biggest concern was the pitching staff. I think we need to start a pitcher, and I think we need a left-handed reliever to go with Dodd and Lee. And once we have that, I think that the bullpen is going to be elite. And I think you get a starting pitcher of a playoff starter. This is going to be a tough group to beat.
Go ahead, Ken.
Plus, and the reason why I'm challenging Alex to make it an A. I would give him an A over what they've done so far, but let's make it a B plus. Challenge them. It's easy. It's easy. Get a left-hander to go with Dylan Dodd. You have 3 lefties out of the pen. We have the best bullpen in baseball. Put Holmes and Lopez in the pen. Go get us. Now, look, you can live with Holmes or Lopez, whatever. But when we get down the stretch for October, I know Sell can start a game. I know this Elder can start a game. I'm not sure about the 3, 4, and 5. So go get somebody. The Kansas City Royals are struggling, and they got 2 pitchers that throw lights out in Waka and Lugo. They're veterans, and they can throw cheap. Go get them. And if you feel your oats, go to Boston and get Chapman to be your other left-handed reliever. And I'll go ahead, and I got to keep telling Alex, I'll go ahead and buy the World Series tickets right now because I don't think anybody beats us in the postseason. B plus. Let's go, Ryan.
All right.
Hey.
All right, gentlemen, solid grades. I really don't have any complaints. So what we're going to do real fast, we're going to go through some coaches and AA. So we're going to give grades to Weiss, Hefner, AA, Ken, floor is yours. Go ahead.
Weiss, A plus. I think he's really done a good job. Once he explained the decision in Seattle why he had to go to J.R. Richie, it made total sense. Sometimes managers just have to do that. They have to bite one. Hefner has taught the 2-seam to every pitcher on the staff, and it's made a huge difference. Go back to Greg's point on Bryce Elder. He now has faith to throw this 2-seam that Maddox says he has to throw to have a great career. Nobody to teach it better than Jeremy Hefner. Even the Mets said that. He's a great teaching the 2-seam, and he's done great. Alex, I would love to give you an A on this pitching because Suarez and Martin Perez, but I can't. I'm going to challenge you. I'm giving you a B minus because we need another left-hander. Keep the kid Dodd up here. Stop this yin-yang yo-yo crap you keep doing with him. He's the best left-hander we got other than Dylan Lee in our system. Keep him up here. Figure out how you're going to do Aaron Bummer. Tell Terry you'll buy him steak dinner or something. Eat the $9.5 million and go get us a veteran pitcher. Look, we get Strider time. If Strider works into that, whatever, but find us another pitcher for the postseason. So I'm going to give you a B minus to challenge you, AA. I know you listen to me because you always kind of point out my stuff. I'm going to say the bad word there. Stuff on 680. So I love you, AA. I'm an apologist for you, and I think you're the best GM in baseball. This is a chance to go win the 2026 World Series. That's where I'm at.
Greg, you're up.
Walt Watts, I got to give an A plus. Got it. I mean, straight from the rafters. Dude came in and just absolutely has showed who he is. He's only had one really bullpen hiccup, and when the other day when he let J.R. Richie pitch one batter too long, really. Hefner, I mean, Elder's success alone, like Ken said, is enough to give him an A. I mean, you've turned Elder into a number 2, number 3 starting pitcher. I mean, that's as long as it holds, as long as it's sustainable, and Hefner is able to help him make adjustments along the season because he is going to have to. Then at this point, I'm giving Hefner an A. Bullpen looks great. Starting rotation looks great. Yeah, I have no qualms with Hefner. Alex, until he gets rid Hushkin. Until he gets rid of Bummer permanently, moves low. It comes out and says Lopez and Holmes are going to the bullpen, and he gets us a bona fide starting pitcher that's going to start a postseason game, like he said in the offseason. He's getting a C plus from me. His move with Dubon was great. Yes, Stribsky at this point has not worked out. I think that the pitching staff looks great at this point, but he can make it better, and he should make it better, and honestly should have already made it better by getting a number one, two, or three starter this offseason, given what we were looking at with Holmes, Lopez, and a bunch of kids in AAA. But we're here now. Pitching staff looks good. We're building. We're growing. And I'm giving the credit to Hefner and Weiss for us being where we're at. And I'm gonna say that I look forward to see if he uses the money that Profar allotted us at the deadline to see if he has a successful deadline. And if he does, he absolutely can drive us into a championship. But we're gonna have to see what he does.
All right. Congratulations to Jim Jarvis, by the way. We just saw his first big league hit, and he made an amazing play.
Hey, baby.
So far, so good for the young pup. But all right, final thoughts from you guys on what we need to do to be successful in May. We're going to start with you, Greg. Go ahead.
Successful in May. I mean, keep pushing the status quo, boys. I mean, Matt Olson hitting. And I know this is a pitcher's breakdown. Can I just say, my boy Ozzy, you can ask Ken. You can ask Ken. I never gave up on him. Like, look, he's hurt. Until he's healthy, you can't say anything about Ozzy. Ozzy's healthy, and look at him. I'm just saying. He's going to be the starting second baseman for the National League All-Star team. I'm just saying. But just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like that's how we maintain being successful. You keep pitching to contacts and let your defense work. You don't walk a whole bunch of guys, and just let Matt Olson hit tanks. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, Matt Olson leading the world in everything. So I'm tickled to death to watch the boy from Atlanta just crush. So
go ahead, Ken.
I'm translating you because I speak Gilmer very well, North Georgia. So what he's trying to tell you is there's nothing wrong with the pitching staff, and the pitching staff has to understand that. My challenge to my pitchers are we had teams like this. Greg's played on teams like this. Ryan's played on teams like this. When the offense is really good, there's no reason not just to throw strikes. One of the things the Braves are really doing well is their pitchers are throwing strikes. So continually throw strikes. Do what you're doing. There's no reason to do any extra. I'm talking to you, Spencer Strider. Just go throw strikes. And if you give up 3 or 4 runs, a home run, whatever, don't worry about it because Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris, Drake Baldwin, you name them, are going to crush. Already tonight, watching the game, you already know Austin Riley looks like we told you it's going to click like this with Austin. And we're not saying it's over, but he's already off to a good start. Pitchers, listen to me. Just throw strikes. Believe in your stuff. Alex, let 46 stay on the major league roster. And if all that happens in May, we're going to be talking good again when we do our May recap, Ryan. Back to you.
I 100% agree with you fellas, man. I cannot wait to see where the boys are, especially since we only have 9 home games, so the boys are going to be packing on the road a lot. So I am interested in seeing how that turns out, but they're off to a good start, so I don't think we got anything else, Ken.
Nope. We appreciate y'all. Remember, you got your tags underneath us. Braves Homer 27, Braves Hip Coil. I'm at Boyd PC. Everybody's under the Braves Hardcore. Greg Weaver is making his rounds back. Don't make him too mad, guys. Y'all be sweet to him. He's a good guy. At Braves Stash, he's one of the best follows on X there ever has been, and we did lose him for about 6 months. And trust me, I've been friends with him. It wasn't nothing y'all said. It had nothing to do. He had stuff going on, boys. He'd like to get in there and fight with you. So I don't think that y'all did anything. He's back, and we appreciate you as always, Braves Country. We love you, And we'll see you in the recap after we take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. We're out.
Hey, Ken, I want to, can we really?
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.